TV star Julie Chrisley sentenced for bank fraud and tax evasion today.
That means the lower court will have to re-sentence her.
Ms Legalista here. Welcome to the video. Okay, so Julie Chrisley is probably feeling pretty good. I mean, not great, but you got to be feeling pretty good when the judge says, your sentence, we're just going to throw that out. They need to start back over.
So we filed the appeal. We went for our oral arguments, did the whole shebang, and, well, we got the opinion back. It's like 55 pages. And as I read through it, I agreed with some things, didn't agree with some things, but that is what it is. We had to get to this process so that we can move on. And the appeal ended with Mom getting resentenced.
She's got to be like having a sigh of relief here because they're going to be taking a new look at her sentence. Now, you guys remember Julie Chrisley, right? Julie and Todd and Savannah and Chase and Chloe and the whole family and Chrisley Knows Best, the reality TV show. I guess I don't really need these glasses just yet. I want to pull up exactly what the U.S. Court of Appeals had to say, because it does kind of make you wonder what the government was doing on its side. And maybe I should go back and pull up how they came up with it. Because, they submit a whole sentencing recommendation where they go through all of the factors. So it's not like they're supposed to pull these years and months out of thin air. They're supposed to have a basis. They're supposed to have a basis for this stuff, right? Right? All right, let's look at what the Court of Appeals had to say here about this. Let me get rid of these glasses. All right, today is July 10th, just so you know. This was filed June 21st in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th District. I'm going way too fast. United States versus, and remember, all three of them were sort of charged together, Julie, Todd, and their accountant here. So let's backtrack over and go over some of the details that the court sort of brings up here. Remind everyone how we got to this point where Julie is now being looked at individually and said, wait, we think this is not right. This criminal appeal revolves around three defendants and two schemes: tax evasion and bank fraud. The tax evasion scheme involved all three defendants. Defendant Michael Todd Chrisley owed back taxes rather than directing his income payments into a personal account, which the IRS could have found and used to satisfy his back taxes. The Chrisleys hid Todd's income payments in an account that defendant Julie Chrisley owned. And as soon as the IRS started looking into accounts Julie owned, the Chrisleys transferred that account to yet another family member. Meanwhile, the Chrisleys' accountant, defender Peter Tarantino, made false statements to federal agents to keep the IRS off the trail. This conduct, and more described below, resulted in convictions for tax evasion and conspiracy to defraud the IRS. So this is sort of how we got here, okay? This is as for the bank fraud scheme. The Chrisleys and Todd's prior business partner sent fabricated financial documents to banks when they applied for loans, loan renewals, and lines of credit. False financial statements grossly overrepresented the Chrisleys' assets to make the applications more attractive to banks. After a joint trial, the jury convicted all three defendants on all counts and the district court sentenced them. The defendants now raise several issues on appeal. And it's this one down here. I think I got rid of that. I was really just trying to use my highlighter. I was really just trying to do this, and then everything sort of went to, I don't know. Fourth, Julie asserts that the district court erred in sentencing her by holding her accountable for the loss of the entire bank fraud scheme. Well, let's see what the court has to actually say about that. It says, after careful consideration and with the benefit of oral argument, we affirm the district court on all issues except the loss amount attributed to Julie. The district court did not identify the evidence it relied on to hold her accountable for losses incurred before 2007. And we cannot independently find it in the record. It sounds like they went looking for it. Did we miss it? Let's see if we see this in the record. We cannot find this. How did you get here? The court says, so we vacate Julie's sentence and remand solely for the district court to make factual findings and calculations necessary to determine loss, restitution, and forfeiture as to Julie and to resentence her accordingly. She's already served some of this time now. This is likely what the court sentenced her to may be reduced, because they've now been told, hey, we can't find how you came up with this. How did you even put this together? And so it's more likely than not, if I had to think it through, it's more likely than not that she has been given more time than she needs to. And I'm not going to necessarily go through all of the details here. I'm going to break this down in another video, but I wanted to give you that first amount there, that first summary. And then I'll go through this in another video, giving you the whole background. And let me tell you, I've said this before, I hate reading some of this stuff. I really do. Because I hate to see people in a position like this. Now, a lot of times people just make mistakes, okay? People do make mistakes. People aren't trying to go out there and doctor financial records. But then you have cases like this, where you have people doctoring records. You have the Aussie Media case where I've been talking about a little bit. It's been hard to follow that one because it's not so much in the news, where there is this accusation about impersonating an employee of Google. You have Elizabeth Holmes and the whole fraud case with Theranos, where she's out there telling people, oh, yes, it works. And it doesn't work. So, that sort of intentional fraud is very different, I think, from people who make mistakes, people who don't know what they're doing, people who don't have the kind of help that they really need. Well, this is not what's going on here. So I'm going to break this down and go through this in some more videos, not in this one. This first one just gives you the summary of where we are. She gets to be resentenced, and I think it's going to be less. We're going to find out more when I go through this whole thing. But hopefully this brings you up to speed with what's going on with Julie Chrisley and her resentencing. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.